Hey ladies, what's up? If you remember me, I'm Nicole with Fit Club for Women. I miss all of you deeply, and the quarantine is driving me a little crazy, so we're going to work out together. I have this interval timer app that Carla got me set up with, and we're going to give this a try in my bedroom. So we're going to start with a 5-minute warm-up, and I've gone ahead and started the timer. We're just going to start with an oldie but a goodie, high knees. Taking your time, at least at the very beginning, making sure that we're engaging from the lower abdominals, head is lifted, belly button pulled in, shoulders are back and down, and nice soft landings of those hips. Now if you have any sort of tiredness in your hip flexors, you don't have to come up quite this high. Right now I have my hands at about belly button level and I'm hitting them with my thighs, but they can also be down here. If they are down here, though, I'm going to challenge you to go just a little bit faster so you can get a little bit warmer. Getting that breath going. I'm starting to breathe and getting that blood pumping. Beautiful for 4 and 3 and 2. And let's go into a hamstring curl, bringing that heel straight up the back of those thighs. We do want to make sure that we don't swing the heels out, nor are we swinging the knees out. Bring this heel straight up. Belly button in, we want to make sure that we're not hyperextending the back every time. We're not doing the chicken dance. Keeping our spine straight and hands at the ready. Good. And let's go ahead and pick up the speed just a little bit. We're going to get a little softer in our hips. 1 and 2 and 1. Good. I can't see you, but I assume you're doing good. Beautiful. Shoulders back and down. Always checking in on the form through the chest. Good. And we got 4, 3, 2, 1. Excellent. Feet apart. We're going to soften up the knees. Keep those soft hips tight, belly button, as we go into little football shuffles. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Good. And I want you to slow this down at first. 1, 2, 1, 2, and see how soft you can get those landings. And then once you get them perfectly silent, you're going to start to pick them up. Spine is going to stay centered. Belly button in, nice and tight. And breathe. Good. And then you're going to go as fast as you can. You should start to feel some burning in your thighs and your calves, maybe even a little bit around your booty in the back here. Never a bad thing. Beautiful. Now let's talk a little bit about the workout coming up. It's about a 35-minute total workout. Slip that into your day, especially when you're quarantined. No excuses. We're going to do 8 exercises, 4 sets of each, starting with a warm-up right here, and then ending with a 5-minute cool down. So it's 5 for a warm-up, 5 for a cool down, 25 minutes total strength training in between. Good. For 4, 3, 2, 1. Go ahead and drop your hips, come all the way up to standing, hands all the way up. Good. But open up those arms. Beautiful. Allowing our breath to come back just a little bit. One more time. Up and open. Good. Make sure you're not hitting any furniture. I've got a small apartment. Good. One more time. Up, open. Beautiful. This time we're going to bring the arms here, soften up those knees, and send those hips back as we send the chest forward. Sweeping the arms across the chest and then driving all the way up. Arms up. We're going to repeat that. I'm going to turn sideways. Soft knees, hips back, flat back all the way down until you get to the bottom. What I don't want to see is this. No weird big curvature of the spine. We want to make sure that the belly button is in. The back stays nice and neutral. You see that difference? Good. One more time. Back. Down. Beautiful. Gorgeous. Let's bring the feet just a little bit wider than hip distance apart. We're going to go over the form of a squat. Hips back and down, up and forward. Good. Beautiful. Now we want to make sure of a couple of things. Right now, hopefully you can see my feet just a little bit wider than hip distance apart. The knees are always on the same plane as the toes. Right now I have a small turnout in my feet, but you can go perfectly parallel. just have to make sure the knees are not falling in. You don't want this. Also, hips always going back. Weight in the heels. You'll notice that my knees never progress past my toes. That's not so good. Make sure your weight's back in those heels. You should be able to wiggle your little toes at all times. Good. 4, 3, 2, 1. That's the dinger. We have 30 seconds of strength training. I have a chair here only because we're going to keep doing those squats. And the chair is a good place to aim for. So I'm going to stand directly in front of the chair. I'm going to bust out as many squats as I can in 30 seconds. Good. As many squats as I can with perfect form. Belly button stays in, core is always nice and tight, and as you're coming up and forward with those hips, you want to make sure you're squeezing the glutes. That little dinger is a 10-second break. Enjoy. Hopefully you have some water around. Good. The second set, you can do the same thing, or pistol squat if you're a little bit more advanced, if your balance is quite good. We're going to go much, much slower. Good. But you also don't have to do this. This can be kind of hard on the knees. If you need to, just go back to this. You can see my cheeks are getting kind of pink, kind of rosy, because the blood is pumping. Good. However, if you want a little bit of a challenge, you can sit the hips back. There's your 10-second break. I'm going to leave frame because I'm grabbing water. Ta-da. Beautiful. Now, if you're doing pistol squats, you're going to switch to the other side. Good. Whoop. Definitely a balance exercise. That weight is always going back into those heels. It's just like a regular squat. You're just on one leg instead of two. It is literally the only difference. Good. Now, this other leg doesn't have to be straight. It can be bent. That's okay. If that helps you with your balance or if that helps you get a little deeper. Woo! There's the break. What a relief. Little teeny sip of water. 2, 1, and back we go to the quick squats. Now, no matter what you were doing before, if you want this to be a tiny bit more advanced, you can add the littlest, tiniest hop at the top. Completely optional. You do not have to do this. You can just keep doing this. It's basically like you're trying to sit in that chair, but you're not going to quite get there. Good. 3, 2, 1. Beautiful. We're going to move on to a plank. Now I have a chair here. I'm going to show you the modified version of this first. Elbows on a chair if you need to. We're going to go into what I call a Spider-Man. Now, Spider-Man plank involves the knee coming out to the side and forward. Out to the side. If you've ever done a mountain climber plank, you know that the knees kind of come forward like this. Spider-Man comes out sideways. Now we want to do this without our hips tilting as much as possible. Whoop, there's the break. Now you don't have to use the chair. If you want to be awesome, push the chair away, do it on the floor. Now I'm not sure you're going to be able to see me, so I'm going to come up onto my hands. And mountain climber, or sorry, Spider-Man. Woo. Good. Now I'm on my hands. You don't have to be. If your wrists don't care for this, go onto your elbows. Absolutely acceptable as well. Head is in a neutral position. Back is flat, meaning that we're always tucking the tailbone. Good. Now what I don't want to see in any plank is this big bowing of the lower back. Not so good for the spine. Whew. I'm getting nice and warm. It's beautiful. Now if you need the chair, another modification, all the way up onto those hands. Continue. Gorgeous. If this is tough on the wrists, you can always experiment with wrapping your hands around the edges of the chair. Just make sure it feels stable. If you feel confident that you're not going to fall, then I'm fine with it. Good. Beautiful. Now one little tip here. Want to make sure that your body, if you are using a chair, is not behind the chair. If it's behind the chair with a lot of weight bearing forward on it, I want you right on top of that chair. Getting those obliques. And what we're doing here, by swinging the knee out to the side instead of straight forward, is we're hitting the side of the waist. Not just the abs in the front, but the obliques running down the side. 3, 2, 1. Gorgeous. Now, back into the legs. We're going to go into some sumo squats. Absolutely optional how low you want to go. Biggest thing I'm looking for here is that the knees are on the same plane as the toes, just like a regular squat. But because we have a turnout, knees are much wider instead of being narrow. And we pulse, pulse, pulse. Good. Just start to feel some burning thighs, booty, inner thighs, especially if you can get deep. If you have trouble with your knees, try pushing those knees out a little bit farther apart. And there's the break. Good. Now, if you notice that your knees are falling in, like they're sort of off kilter, really work on pushing them out before you try to get deep. Good. Now this time, we're going to get rid of the pulse. Hold it. We're going to go into isometric. One heel is going to come up, and then it's going to come down, followed by the other. Up, and then down. Good. Up, and then down. Belly button is in, and then down. Beautiful. Shoulders back and down. Good. Now, we're doing this exercise with no weight, just the weight of our body. If you don't need that break, don't take the break. Keep going. Up and then down. Excellent. Set 3. Here we go. I'm going to go back into pulsing. Good. Now, we should be feeling a significant burn by now. If you don't, try slowing the pulses down. A lot of times, I see bouncy, bouncy, bounce, like this. You want to make sure that it's as if you're moving through water, underwater. Just pulse, pulse. Yes. Beautiful. And there's the break. Come on up if you need it. If you don't need it, try all 4 sets all the way through. Good. This time, step 4, we're going back into heel lifts. Heel lifts. Up and down. Good. Getting the calves while we're getting the thighs, while we're getting the booty, inner thighs, and core a little bit. So we're keeping that spine nice and straight. If you notice that my gaze is switching back and forth between straight into camera and a little bit off, it's because I'm making sure I'm still in frame. I'm also making sure that I look good. Beautiful, that's set 4. Now we're going to come on down to the mat. Hands and knees. We're going to do a little bit of booty workout here. So, back is nice and flat. We're going to keep one leg at 90 degrees. Hips stay very, very even here. And we're going to pulse up, up, up. Good. These are called donkey kicks. And you should start to feel some work through that booty. I'm working with my right leg right now. My right booty's on fire already. What we want to watch out for here, go ahead and switch to the other side and start immediately. What we want to watch out for here is any rotation out through the hip. We want to make sure that the hips stay nice and even, and that's the beginning of set 2. If your wrists don't care for this, you can't see it right now, but right now I'm on my flat hand. You are always welcome to come up into monkey paws, which looks like this, like a gorilla. Always welcome to do monkey paws. Or you can come down to your elbows too, down here, which means you're going to get a little bit more height to compensate. Being down in this position is technically easier. Good, and there's the break. Give me a nice child's pose and take a breath. Good. Back to your hands and knees. Set 3, back to the right leg this time. Instead of going straight back, we're going to come directly out to the side and pulse very, very slowly. We're trying to hit that outer thigh. We got some inner thigh with those sumo squats. And now we're hitting the outer thigh. You should feel it running all the way down here. It might help a little bit if you widen your grip. Good. If you feel like this hip, the opposite hip is getting a little tired, like being on that hip means that you're sinking in, just make sure you keep your weight as centered as possible. Yes. Beautiful. So this is set 4. The end of set 4, we're going to grab our chair. We're going to go into some tricep work. Get some of that upper body. But don't you worry. We're going to hit that booty again. Please do. Belly button is in, hips again, nice and even. As high up as you can in that knee. Never mind, we're done. Go ahead and grab your chair. Now, tricep dip can be a little bit tricky. We're going to start seated on the chair, and then as we scooch our booties off the chair, we're going to find a grip with our hands, fingertips pointing forward. We're going to dip the body down and back up. Now, as we do this, we really do want to make sure that we're not flaring the elbows out froggy style, that the elbows are going straight behind us. Chest is nice and open. Now keep in mind, good, little break. Keep in mind that if that's a little bit rough on your shoulders, we want to keep the shoulders down away from the ears. We don't want any scrunchies. And we want to make sure that we don't go down too deep. So if you find that you're coming all the way down here and that's rough on your shoulder, just make it really small. And that way, you get more reps done anyway. Look how pink I am, my little pink cheeks. This is what you guys who don't work out with me downstairs, you miss out on. Blushing Nicole. 4, 3, 2, 1. Beautiful. Now you may find that those tricep dips are not working for you at all. If that's the case, that is okay. We're going to try a narrow push-up. Fingertips pointing forward. You're going to step back into your plank position and tiny little push-ups. Now, you'll notice that again, elbows are not flared. They're close to the body. Shoulders backing down. And you'll notice that this is going to hit your triceps as well as your chest and shoulders. Whole body moves in one piece. Beautiful. There's the break. A little bit of water. When you're doing any kind of push-up, extremely important that you keep the body in a full plank position at all times. So what I don't want to see is your pelvis going down. That's obscene. I don't want to see your shoulders coming up. I want your whole body stiff as a board. And even if it's only moving an inch at a time, that's enough. This is about as small as I want you to be. If you're here, if you're still doing the tricep dips, good for you. Keep it warm. Beautiful. And there's the break. Now, we're going to go ahead and lie down. I bet you're excited for that. So, chair out of the way for now. We're going to lie down on our backs. I'm going to turn around. Beautiful. Hips up. Pulsing the booty here. Pulse, pulse. Now, keep pulsing. You can kind of see me. Pulses should be slow, should be small, and the glutes squeezing extremely hard. Pinching a very valuable baseball card between your butt cheeks. You don't want the breeze to blow it away. Gorgeous. Now, let's keep the hips up. This time, we're going to do a march. Right foot is going to come up, and then down. Then left, up, and then down. Notice how slow I'm going. Fast does not equal more work here. Slow and controlled, making sure that the muscles are engaged, that we're not just using momentum. Beautiful. Now, if that felt kind of easy for you, like it did for me, Be honest. No false modesty here. Grab your chair. This time, y'all are going to get a real fun view as I put my feet up, bring my hips up, and hold. Now you'll notice I'm not right on the edge of my heel, nor have I got my feet flat. For me, I'm sort of driving through the center of the foot on the corner of the chair. For me, this just feels a little bit more stable. But you are welcome to experiment. And pulsing. This should feel a little bit harder. Beautiful. Now if you need to take a break, drop your hips, pull your knees into your chest. If the chair is too much, shove the chair away, you don't need it. If, however, you want to pick it up one more time, feet all the way together this time. Hips up, knee up, and down. So same thing as we were doing in set 2, yes? Good. But now we just have elevation. Again, for some people, this isn't going to be that great on the lower back. This is a lot of elevation. If your lower back feels good, fabulous. If it doesn't, don't do it. Beautiful. Drop your hips slowly and with care. We're going to push the chair away. Now you remember those tricep push-ups we did? We're going to do a wider push-up. Coming to a knee plank position with the hands a little bit wider than usual. I'm going to come down and up. Now, knees are on the floor. Tailbone is lightly tucked, belly button is pulled in. You'll notice this time, I'm not striving to keep my elbows near my rib cage. I have a wide grip. This is going to use more of the chest muscles here, where it connects across the shoulder, as well as more of the bicep as opposed to the tricep, which is this narrow one. We're going a little bit wider. Again. Boom. Good. Experiment with depth. If your shoulders don't care for this, don't go as low. Keep a little shallower, just like this. But again, with perfect form. I want to see that plank position. This time, instead of from the feet, it's one piece from the knees to the top of the head. Back is nice and flat. Tailbone is tucked. Belly button is in. Excellent. Now, you can keep going with this, or if you need it to go up a notch, you can go into a full push-up. Looks like this. Hands wide, feet back, and, now these are much harder, for me included. But you want to keep all the same rules applying. Notice how much slower I'm going. I'm not going as deep. Guys, I'm going to drop to my knees, because it's hard to do that and talk at the same time. Oof. Beautiful. And break. Now, if this is tough on your wrists, as for some people it might be, you can, once again, always do gorilla pause. I'm going to do that right here. I'll back up a little bit so you can see. Still doing gorilla pause, but my feet are a little bit, my hands are a little bit wider than they were with the triceps. Down and up. Now you'll see this creates a much straighter line in the wrist than this. You see that hard flexion there? So if we go up onto the strong part of the knuckle, that takes a lot of pressure off that joint. Beautiful. All right. Now, we're going to go into some abdominals. Lying down on our backs. I'll do this sort of sideways so you can see a little bit better. All the way down, knees up. Pull the knees in, stretch out the lower back just for a moment if you need to. Hands behind the head. We'll come up into a crunch. We're going to keep the knees together and we're going to eat. Very small. It's like a full bicycle, full extension here, but it's going to be right here. Small range of motion. Beautiful. Knees come to stillness. Head is going to come down and up. Take a break if you need to. Right now I'm going through the breaks. And there's the start of set 2. And pulse. Pulse. Good. Now we do want to make sure that we're holding the heaviest part of the head. We don't want to hold the neck. This isn't going to support that much weight. Your neck is still going to be doing a lot of work. Holding the bulb of the skull is actually going to support the weight of the head and take that work away from the neck. Elbows, not close. Keep them nice and wide. Beautiful. There's the break if you need it, which I do. Good. Now, for those of you who have sensitive necks, sets 3 and 4 is going to be your jam. We're going to pull the knees all the way in, flex the feet, and extend them up to the ceiling. Heel to toe, heel to toe. Back is nice and flat. Now, if this bothers your lower back, if any foot elevation bothers your lower back, you are always welcome to either put your hands underneath your hips. That's going to take some of the pressure off. However, if that's too much weight for your hands to handle, you can always put one foot down and do a little bit of work that way. Beautiful. Last set. Both feet up. And we're going to do big Pilates scissors. Now you notice I have a soft bend in the knee that's closest to me. That's because my hamstrings feel a little bit tight today. And I would rather have a soft knee and have that thigh come all the way in than try to keep my knees bent and have them exist out here, because that's really tough on the lower back. So soft knees. Pull that leg all the way in, nice and slow. Lots of lower ab work here. Beautiful. Pull those knees in. Give your lower back a little stretch. Gorgeous. Roll to your side. And we go into cool down. Now, we're going to start our cool down on our hands and knees. Going to go into a little cat and cow. Arching back, scared Halloween cat. And then bringing that chest forward and belly button down. Beautiful. Let's do 2 more times. And start to slow down the breath. Inhale. And exhale. Beautiful. Come to a neutral back. Flex your feet so that your toes are underneath you, and you're going to come up into plank position and then into downward dog. Drive your weight into your right heel, stretching down through that calf, and then soften that right knee and drive your weight through the left heel. Do this one more time. You should feel a little bit of work in your shoulders. Beautiful. All the way to plank position once again. Drop your knees, send it back into child's pose. Gorgeous. And we're going to go into a quick little stretch. So, we're going to start sitting comfortably in a cross-legged position. Starting with the right arm, we're going to bring it across the body. Nice straight arm and hug that arm in. Should feel a nice little stretch through the deltoid. Inhale deep. And exhale as you hug that arm just a little bit closer. Good, one more time. Inhale. And exhale as you bring that arm out to the side, up by the ear, and then drop it behind the neck. Go into a quick tricep stretch. You should feel it wrap down the back of the arm through the armpit. Good. Inhale deep. And exhale, release that arm. Reach out to the side and then the other side. Cross. Beautiful. Once again, across the calf of that deltoid. Inhale. And exhale, reach the arm across. Open by the ear. Drop behind the head. And grab that elbow. And breathe. Beautiful. Inhale deep. And exhale as you let go of those arms. Reach up across, and the feet are going to come so that the soles of the feet are together. So you can see. Knees are open, reaching forward, grabbing the toes, shoulders back and down. Inhale. And you're gently going to pull yourself forward. You should feel some stretch in those inner thighs, groin, inner hip. And make sure here that while you may not have a perfectly flat back, we do not want a super rounded spine. You want to keep your eyes generally forward, chest generally open. Transition your grip to the ankles, elbows nice and open. Inhale deep and press downward. Feeling those hips open up through the outside here, continuing to feel that inner thigh stretch. Nice deep breaths. Inhale. And exhale as you release those knees, come all the way up, roll those shoulders back twice. And roll the shoulders forward twice. Beautiful. Now, we're going to go ahead and lie down on our backs one more time. And take 3 nice deep breaths here as we rock the knees gently from side to side, feeling any of our tension in the lower back let go. Come to stillness, pull both knees into the chest. Last little stretch. Slow the breathing down. Inhale 4 counts. Activity completed. And exhale 4 counts. Roll to your side gently and come to seated. Now you may have heard the app. She just said activity complete. You just completed a 35-minute workout. Now, please, if you have any feedback, let us know what you thought about this workout. And I miss you guys. Take a moment today, if you can, to give yourself a little bit of patience and kindness. Everybody's going to be dealing with quarantine in a very different way. So whatever you need to do for yourself to take care of yourself is right and it's valid. Bye.